Hello, my dear students. Myself, Dr. Pitambar Humne, founder Botany for You, and working as Associate Professor and Head Department of Botany, Dharampet MP Memorial Science College, Nagpur. I welcome you all in this online platform for the students of Life Sciences Botany for You. If you are new or not yet subscribed our YouTube channel, then kindly like, share, and subscribe our YouTube channel Botany for You. If you want to associate with us through a Telegram group, then the link of the Telegram group is given in the description as well as in the comment. Through that, you can join the Telegram group for the further alerts about the different lectures as well as the programs organized by this online platform. Today, we will see the next lecture in the genetics, and that is DNA replication or DNA duplication. If you have not seen our earlier lecture, that is Watson and Crick's model of DNA or structure of DNA, then kindly go through it before watching this lecture. So let's see the DNA replication or DNA duplication. So as we have seen in an earlier lecture that the DNA is made up of the sugar, phosphate and nitrogen bases. Sugar contained in the DNA, that is a deoxyribose sugar, and why it is known as the deoxyribose sugar, that already I have given in earlier lecture, that is the Watson and Crick's model of the DNA. Then phosphate, which is present in the DNA or the RNA, that is in the form of phosphoric acid, that is the molecular formula, that is H3PO4. And there are the four different type of the nitrogen bases which are classified into the two types, that is purines and the pyrimidines. The purines are double ring structures and adenine and the guanine, while the pyrimidines are the single ring structures and known as thymine and the cytosine. So very simply we can remember this, that is the ATGC, that is at Gandhi Chowk. There are the two hydrogen bonds in between the AT and G, A and the T, and three hydrogen bonds in between the G and the C. So in this way, very easily we can identify or remember these different chemical compounds which are present in the DNA molecule. In addition to that, we have seen earlier that the one sugar molecule along with the one nitrogen base, that is known as the nucleoside, and the nucleoside with one phosphate, and that is known as the nucleotide. Such nucleotides join with each other, and in this way there is a formation of a chain of the nucleotide, that is known as the polynucleotide chain. And in the DNA or the RNA, there is a polynucleotide chain, that is a joining of such type of the many nucleotides with each other. But whenever we are talking about the DNA is a double stranded structure, that here the another strand is attached to the first strand with the help of complementary nitrogen bases. And as we have seen at Gandhi Chowk, that is the AT and GC, there is a complementary nitrogen base pairing in between this at Gandhi Chowk. So there are the two hydrogen bonds in between the adenine and the thymine, and the presence of three hydrogen bonds in between the guanine and the cytosine. It means then when there is a presence of the adenine on the one strand, there will be the presence of the thymine on the another strand. In the similar manner, here the guanine on the one strand, so cytosine on the another strand, and vice versa. So in this way, if we know the sequence of nitrogen bases on the one strand, then we can easily identify the sequence of nitrogen bases on the other strand, as there is a complementary nitrogen base pairing in between the two DNA strands in the formation of the DNA molecule. So earlier we have seen in the Watson and Crick model, this is the diagram, that here both the strands, that is this is in a one direction and this is in the another direction. It means that here both the strands of the DNA molecule are anti-parallel to each other. That is, here this is the 5' end and this is the 3' end. 3' end means the 3' OH and 5' is presence of the phosphate. So in this way, here the two strands are anti-parallel to each other, and in this way, that is, we can say that here there is a presence of the 5' end and here 3' end and here 3' end and here the 5' end. So in this way we can say that both the strands are anti-parallel to each other, And again, in addition to that, both the strands are helical in structure, that is, there is a formation of the coiling, and this coiling of the DNA molecule is at the 36 degree. So this angle of the coiling is 36 degree. Then diameter of the DNA is 20 angstrom unit, while the one pitch or the one turn complete at 34 angstrom unit, which is equal to the 3.4 nanometer. Again, the one nucleotide base pair which occupy, that is the 3.4 angstrom unit distance, and the one complete turn, that is 34 angstrom unit, occupies the 10 nitrogen base pairs or the nucleotide base pairs. So in this way, there is a structure of the DNA molecule, and this Watson and Crick model get fit into the replication process of the DNA. So how the process of the replication is carried out in the organisms, that we will see in this lecture. So first of all, that is the semi-conservative type of the replication. Whenever we are talking about the DNA replication, then DNA replication is nothing but the process of the formation of its copy or the replica. Replication is the meaning because there is a formation of the replica, and whenever we are talking about the replica, it is nothing but the copy of it, that is the exact replica. But again, this DNA replication is also known as the duplication. So again, the duplication is nothing but the process of formation of the copy. Means when there is a presence of the DNA, again the DNA is responsible for the formation of its own copy, and that is known as the DNA replication or the DNA duplication. But when there is a formation of the DNA copy, that DNA copy is not newly formed, but instead of that, out of the two DNA strand, one strand is old and another strand is new. As you are seeing here, this is a parental DNA in which there is a bluish color or bluish green color. So you will find that here both the strands are of this color, but when there is a formation of the daughter DNA molecules, so in the daughter DNA molecule, the one strand is a parental one and another strand which is newly synthesized. So in this way, out of the two DNA strands, after DNA replication, the one strand is original strand and the another strand is newly synthesized strand. Such a type of the replication in which the one strand is old and another is parental, that is old, that is parental, and the another one is a new, and this is known as the semi-conservative type of the replication. Here also we can say that this is a replication, DNA replication fork. So during the replication, both these strands, that is the parental strand, gets separate from each other, and in this way there is a formation of DNA replication. And this process of the DNA replication is carried out in the two different type of the condition, that is continuous, and second one is a discontinuous. So in a continuous manner, there is a synthesis of the DNA molecule from this 5' end to the 3' end in a continuous direction, and the DNA strand on which there is a synthesis of a new DNA strand in a continuous manner, that is known as the leading strand, while the DNA strand on which there is a synthesis of the new DNA in a discontinuous manner, and that is known as the lagging strand. These different DNA fragments which are synthesized on the lagging strand in a discontinuous manner, and that is known as the Okazaki fragments, on the basis of the name of the discoverer, R. Okazaki. So in this way, there is a replication of the DNA, and after the separation, here the one molecule will contain this one parental and second one new or the daughter strand, and hence it is known as the semi-conservative type of the replication. Here the DNA replication enzymes means whenever there is a replication of or the duplication of the DNA, there is need of the many enzymes which are involved in the prokaryotes as well as the eukaryotes. And these enzymes includes the nuclease enzymes. Here the nuclease enzymes are of the two different types, that is the exonuclease as well as the endonucleases. So these exonucleases and the endonucleases are responsible to carry out the different functions. Whenever we are talking about the DNA molecule, which is double stranded circular DNA molecule or double stranded linear DNA molecule in the prokaryote and the eukaryote respectively. So in this manner, here say for example, here there is a 3' end and here the 5' end. This is 3' end and this is a 5' end. So such type of the DNA molecule, if it starts from the end of the DNA molecule, then it is known as the exonuclease, that is the 3' end. So but if it is responsible to cut the DNA in the middle, at that time we can say that it is the endonuclease. So in this way it is responsible for the breaking of the DNA strand by breaking the phosphodiester bond. Then second one, that is the DNA polymerases or the replicase enzymes. DNA polymerases are also known as the replicase enzymes. In prokaryotes, there are the three different types, that is the DNA polymerase 1, DNA polymerase 2 and DNA polymerase 3. DNA polymerase 1 and DNA polymerase 2 are the repair enzymes, while the DNA polymerase 3 is responsible for the polymerization of the DNA molecule during the DNA replication. But in the eukaryotes, there are the 5 different types of the DNA polymerase, that is the alpha, beta, then gamma, delta and epsilon. So these are the 5 different type of the DNA polymerases which are present in the eukaryotes. Then third one type is, that is the DNA ligases. The DNA ligases are the enzyme which are responsible to join the two nucleotides with each other during the replication. Then the fourth one is the DNA primase or the RNA polymerase. DNA primase is responsible for the synthesis of RNA primer in the eukaryotes. In prokaryotes, out of the two strands, on the one strand there is a synthesis of the primer by the RNA polymerase, and on the another strand there is a synthesis of the RNA primer by the DNA primase. So this is the difference in between the formation of the primer in the prokaryotes and the eukaryotes. Then the fifth one, that is the DNA helicase, and the helicase is responsible to break the hydrogen bonds in between the complementary nitrogen bases in the DNA molecules, and hence it is responsible for the separation of two strands from each other. Say for example, now this is a DNA molecule, and in this DNA molecule, here the two nitrogen bases are joined with each other. Say for example, here the adenine and here the thymine, and there are the two hydrogen bonds, and here there is a guanine, and here there are the three hydrogen bonds and cytosine. So these hydrogen bonds which are present in between the complementary nitrogen bases of the opposite strands, they are broken by the DNA helicase. Then the next one is the single stranded DNA binding proteins. Here, as both the strands, after the helicase activity, means after breaking the hydrogen bonds in between the complementary nitrogen bases, here these strands will separate from each other, having exposed nitrogen bases on them. These exposed nitrogen bases are nothing but the unpaired nitrogen bases. So in such a type of the condition, as the characteristics or the property of the DNA is to form the double stranded structure, and hence there is again possibility of the formation of the hydrogen bonding in between the complementary nitrogen bases. So to avoid this complementary nitrogen base pairing or the hydrogen bonding in between them, here the enzyme or the protein that is known as the single stranded binding protein is attached to these single strands, and in this way here the single strands are to be maintained during the DNA replication. Then the next one is that is the topoisomerase, or it is also known as the DNA gyrase. This enzyme is responsible for the uncoiling of the DNA molecule. As we know, the DNA molecule is a coiled structure or helical structure, and hence this unwinding of the DNA molecule is carried out by the topoisomerase, or it is also known as the DNA gyrase. So these are the different enzymes which are involved in the process of the DNA replication or the DNA duplication. So how this process is carried out in the cell in the prokaryotes or the eukaryote, that we will see in the next slide. So this is actually the mechanism of DNA replication or the DNA duplication. So if you see here, this is a parental strand. So this is the first parental strand and this is the second parental strand. So in a natural condition, the DNA molecule is present in the form of helical structure, that is a coiled structure. So first of all, there is a necessity to uncoil this DNA molecule with the help of an enzyme, that is the DNA topoisomerase, or it is also known as the DNA gyrase. So this is responsible for the uncoiling of the DNA molecule. When the DNA molecule becomes uncoiled, at that time the another enzyme, that is the DNA helicase, is responsible to break the hydrogen bonds in between the complementary nitrogen bases. And in this way, because of the separation or the breaking of the hydrogen bonds in between the complementary nitrogen bases, here the two DNA strands separates from each other. But when these two strands are separated from each other, here to maintain the single stranded condition, there is a necessity of the some other protein, and that is known as the single stranded binding protein or single stranded DNA binding protein. These single stranded DNA binding proteins are attaching to the DNA strand in such a manner that the nitrogen bases should be remain exposed, so that the DNA polymerase can recognize it during the DNA replication. After the separation of these two DNA strands from each other and binding of the single stranded RNA binding protein, here they remain as it is with the exposed nitrogen bases, means unpaired nitrogen bases. But out of these two strands, the one strand is 5' to 3' and the another strand having the 3' to 5'. Whenever we are talking about the activity of the DNA polymerases in the prokaryote as well as the eukaryote, they are working from the 5' to 3' direction. So because of this, here out of the two strands which are synthesized on it, one strand synthesized in a continuous manner and another strand synthesized in a discontinuous manner. So if we see this one here, this is a reverse direction, that is a 5' to 3' here, while in another strand, that is here, there is a presence of the 5' to 3' direction. So in this way, this is actually the available direction to the DNA polymerase for the synthesis of the new DNA molecule on the strand. So such a type of the strand on which there is a synthesis of a continuous DNA molecule, that is known as the leading strand, as we have seen in an earlier slide. But on another strand, here there is a synthesis of the DNA molecule in the fragments, and hence this is known as the lagging strand. Now when these DNA molecules are exposed or separates from each other, and as I told, that is the DNA molecule synthesized in a 5' to 3' direction because the DNA polymerase work in this direction. So first of all, every time before the synthesis of the DNA molecule on the leading strand or the lagging strand, there is a necessity to have the synthesis of the RNA primer. This is because directly the DNA polymerase cannot initiate the process of the DNA replication, and hence the process of replication is initiated by two different enzymes, that is DNA primase, and the another one is that is the RNA polymerase. So in a eukaryote there is a utilization of the DNA primase, so that the DNA primase is responsible for the synthesis of primer, that is the RNA primer. So here there is a synthesis of some of the strands, that is the primer is up to synthesize nitrogen base pairs, means here the primer include almost around the 10 nitrogen base pairs or 8 to 10 nitrogen base pair. Means here this process of the initiation of the DNA replication, which is carried out by the DNA primase in the eukaryotes and by RNA polymerase on the one strand and DNA primase on the another strand in the prokaryotes. So in this way, after synthesis of the primer, say for example here there is a synthesis of the new strand, and up to this we can say that it is a primer. After synthesis of the primer, here the DNA primase get released from it, and then there is an addition of the DNA polymerase to it, and this DNA polymerase is responsible for the continuous addition of the nucleotides which are complementary to the strands, that is the parental strand. Say for example, if this DNA molecule is synthesized in a continuous manner from 5' to 3' direction on the leading strand. So here this is the sequence, that is the A, T, G, C, C, G, A, T. So say for example this is the sequence which is present on the parental strand. So when the RNA primase or the DNA polymerase when work, it will synthesize in this manner. So here the nucleotide base pairs on the new strand will be here T, here A, here C, here G, here G, then again here the C, here T and A, etc. So new strand when synthesized on the parental strand, here there is a synthesis of the another strand having the complementary nitrogen base pairing with that of the parental strand, and in this way there is a continuous synthesis of the DNA molecule or the DNA strand on the leading strand. But whenever we are talking about the another strand, that is known as the lagging strand. So on the lagging strand there is a lack of availability of the direction of the synthesis, that is 5' to 3' direction, and hence it synthesizes in this reverse direction. So every time when it synthesizes, there is need of the synthesis of primer first, and later on after the synthesis of the primer by the DNA primase, here again there is an addition of the DNA polymerase. So again this DNA polymerase will polymerize and synthesize the new DNA strand, and in this way the one strand is synthesized in this direction, and that is in the form of the fragments, and these fragments are known as the Okazaki fragments. So after the name of the R. Okazaki. So in this way the two strands are synthesized on the parental strand in a continuous and the discontinuous manner. When we see this DNA polymerase on the lagging strand, here there is a polymerase alpha, that is the DNA polymerase alpha is responsible for the synthesis of the DNA on the lagging strand, while when we are talking about the leading strand, here the DNA polymerase delta is responsible for the synthesis of the new DNA strand. So in this way, after the completion of the process, here the RNA primers which are synthesized before the synthesis of the Okazaki fragments or even during the synthesis of the continuous DNA strand, it is removed. And the other polymerase enzymes are responsible to add the complementary nitrogen bases in place of the RNA primers. And later on, with the help of ligase, the gap in between the two nucleotides is sealed off. So in this way, there is a formation of the two continuous DNA molecule from the single parental DNA molecule. So after the synthesis or the completion of the process of the DNA replication, here from the one DNA molecule, that is from the two strand, there is a formation of the two DNA molecules, that is the 4 strands. And out of these 4 strands, here the 2 strands will be the parental one and the 2 strands will be the daughter one, that is the newly formed one, and hence this process is known as the semi-conservative process. So in this way, here we can easily understand that this is the original, or the we can say that it is the parental DNA molecule and is responsible for the formation of the DNA replication. Out of that, this one strand is a parental, and from this DNA molecule again one strand is a parental one, while here this strand from one DNA molecule and here this strand in the another DNA molecule, they are the daughter DNA strands. So in this way, out of these 2 DNA strands, the one is parental and another one is the daughter DNA molecule. So such type of the replication of the DNA, in which out of the 2 DNA strand, one strand is parental and the another one is the daughter DNA molecule, that is known as the semi-conservative type of the replication or the duplication of the DNA. The replication and the duplication, except the enzymes, the complete process in the prokaryote and the eukaryote is same. So I hope that this lecture will be useful to you in understanding the mechanism of the DNA replication or the DNA duplication. So thank you very much for your kind listening of this complete lecture. If you like this lecture, then kindly like, share and subscribe our YouTube channel Botany for You, and also press bell icon for the alerts of every lecture to be uploaded on different life science titles. Thanks a lot once again.